Good evening. Specialist police investigating Dezi Freeman's life on the run have made new breakthrough arrests linked to the cop killer after a series of property raids on either side of the Victorian border. Live to Jordan Quinn, and Jordan, one of the suspects lives in near Dezi's final hideout.
Mitch, he is a 64-year-old from Lucy Vale, which is about 90 minutes from where the fugitive was shot dead on the border. But we have just had confirmation from police he has now been released without charge. However, a 47-year-old man from New South Wales was also arrested. He will be interviewed. Now, just before 6:30 this morning, police carried out 7 raids on rural properties, 4 in New South Wales, 3 in Victoria. One property was in Lucy Vale, another was in Buckland, which is only 20 minutes from Pulpunka, where Dezi killed those 2 officers. We also understand the parents of retired footy players Sam and Ben Reid are linked to one of the properties that has been raided. Now, police have seized a range of electronic devices from these properties, but this news comes on the same day the mother of murdered officer Vadim Devat-Hotat declared her son hasn't died in vain. In a statement, Carolina Devat-Hotat said her family is frayed to shreds. She says the only way evil can proliferate and survive is if good people turn their back and do nothing, adding her family will endeavour to walk with purpose and positivity as Vadim did in his life. But Mitch, with respects to today's arrest, that man from New South Wales will tonight be interviewed.
Jordan Quinn at Police Headquarters, thank you. Premier Jacinta Allan looks set to lead Labor to the November election after emerging from a key party room meeting unchallenged. Rumours of a leadership spill turned out to be just that, with one backbencher using colourful language to show her support.
As Labor MPs arrived at Parliament for a regular caucus meeting with the boss, speculation swirled about a challenge to Jacinta Allan.
The Premier has our full support. She has my support.
Is she the best person given the polls?
Absolutely.
Jacinta Allan is the best person to lead us.
People have been unambiguous in their support for the Premier.
No challenge today.
Persistent reports suggest there's deep concern in the party about its plunging polls.
They should put up or shut up, because we've got serious work to do.
You guys keep trying to make it into something. It's not a thing.
Deputy Premier Ben Carroll insists Jacinta Allan isn't carrying the burden of predecessor Daniel Andrews.
No, she's not. She's a different leader. She's consultative, she's decent and she's inclusive.
Half an hour later, no challenge, so no change.
We talked very clearly about a big week in Parliament ahead, being focused on working people, and looking forward to doing that this week. Thank you.
She did address the speculation.
Paul, I'm not going into what was said in that room.
But there was dissent against the Premier at the front of Parliament from furious healthcare workers. They are sick of waiting for a pay rise, taking an unprecedented statewide 24-hour strike as the allied healthcare workers push for 36% more over 3 years.
We are the engine room of the health system, and without us, it all falls over.
Working from home. Instead, the Premier's focus today, introducing the bill in Parliament to force employers to allow full-time workers to do it 2 days a week. Casuals and part-timers included too. Many details yet to be confirmed.
It's estimated that it can save families up to $110 a week.
Industry leaders united against it.
Adding more red tape today is the worst possible outcome for jobs in this state.
This is bad for jobs and bad for our economy.
We also call for this ridiculous bill to be withdrawn. It is a complete waste of time. The chances are it will be a mess.
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.
Millions of Australians have been given a breather from interest rate pain. After 3 consecutive hikes, the RBA is keeping its official cash rate on hold at 4.35%. But the Reserve Bank is warning mortgage holders not to get complacent.
Fruit shop owner Daniel Flaminio's worried consumer spending's going pear-shaped. But today,
there it is. As expected by many economists, rates on hold.
Some relief.
I guess everyone's relieved. We've had 3 rate increases this year. So we needed a bit of good news.
The Reserve Bank keeping rates on hold at 4.35%. The board's decision unanimous, but the inflation battle far from won.
I want to be very clear that inflation remains too high. We might have to do more. I'm just not ruling that out.
Buying time with the rest of the world to see what comes from Donald Trump's promise of an Iran peace deal on Friday, whether petrol prices come down and when the financial impact of the war will fade.
We're realistic about how long it will take for the global economy to normalise and what that means for us.
The banks divided on what comes next. The Commonwealth, NAB and ANZ all predicting no further rises this year and 2 cuts next year. Westpac predicting 2 more rises this year and 2 cuts, but not until 2028.
There's that risk that they have to go further in August and September.
November board meeting might be a good time to expect that.
And crunch time is fast approaching for the fuel excise cut. The government indicating it'll make a decision next week on whether to end it or extend it beyond the end of the month.
We'll give consideration to those matters.
That relief won't go on forever, but we will continue to review it between now and the end of the month.
The 32 cent a litre cut due to end on June 30. Daniel Flaminio says his customers are already tightening their belts.
Instead of buying premium fruits, they're looking for value for money.
And looking to bag a bargain. And Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock says Australians shouldn't be too alarmed if economic growth slumps even further over coming months. That's something she says has to happen to get inflation down. The hope, though, is that it doesn't force mass job losses at the same time. Keeping unemployment low is the second of the RBA's major objectives after inflation. And the Governor also delivered a timely reminder for the government today. Inflation was a big problem for our economy well before this war started, and it will continue to be a big problem well after it ends. Mitch.
Political editor Mark Riley, thank you. In breaking news, FM shock jock Kyle Sandilands is set to pocket $15 million as part of a settlement from his former radio station ARN. It's understood Sandilands will receive $5 million a year for the next 3 years. The payout is significantly less than the $80 million that was remaining on his contract when Sandilands was sacked. A Virgin flight from Melbourne to Perth has been forced to turn around after crew reported an engine issue. The Boeing 737-800 took off just after 6 last night, flying for around 40 minutes before passengers were told they'd be returning to Melbourne.
Philosophy 697 Melbourne Tower, roger, Mayday.
Emergency services were on standby as the plane landed safely at Tullamarine.